So yesterday was November the 26th. That's the date 10 years ago that I created my YouTube account. And obviously, to begin with, I was just someone who watched YouTube's videos. And it wasn't really until the last couple of years that I actually started doing stuff on YouTube. But nevertheless, this started 10 years ago. 10 long years. And I've grown up a lot in that time. Become a man in that time. And I've learned a lot of things about myself, good and bad. Made a lot of mistakes. A simply staggeringly huge amount of mistakes. But time travel doesn't exist, and even if it did, it wouldn't work that way anyway, so there's nothing to be done. I have made my bed, so I might as well roll in its fucking cash. It is odd. It is very, very odd to be in a position where I am making a fairly consistent, if small, amount of money every month out of people hating me and everything I say and stand for. It is a very odd thing indeed. And people freak out about this. They freak the fuck out because they're like, why are people interested in you? Why do they care so much? Why don't they shut up about you? And I don't fucking know. I mean, all I can gather is that the alt-right are a bunch of obsessive, pathetic morons, and they are like, I hate this person! I must stalk him relentlessly and hope that one day, he will acknowledge my greatness and superiority over him! And it's like, no, you're just fucking stupid. But please, give me them fucking money. Give me all of the monies in the world from your pathetic fucking hatred, relentless vendetta of me. And, oh, look how you were so fucking rejoicing to see that you had abandoned me and that everybody was unsubscribing from me. And, oh, what's this? Oh yeah. 1,927 subscribers. Yeah, baby. I don't know why but you fuckers can't seem to stay away. Even 4chan has now actually blocked me. You people have spammed me so much on 4chan that they have actually done something I love and blocked me for you, so that you can't fucking talk about me on there anymore. But still, you relentlessly stalk me. Heck, maybe that's why all the decent trolls have gone away. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why all I get nowadays are cuck, kill yourself, and what do you think about the latest policy that I totally fucking like and I think you won't like? Maybe that's it. Maybe the reason that, well, I don't get any decent fucking funny trolling anymore is because 4chan can't come anymore. You have isolated the few members of the comment section who were actually effective and funny, and now you're just fucking boring. I suppose it's appropriate in a way that my sort of 10th year anniversary opens with a roasting of the audience who keep me going despite how much they must very clearly hate me, because yeah, the dislike fucking ratios. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, bloody almighty Zarquan, right? Like, every single fucking video, it's like a dislike ratio of 1 to 10 or 1 to 100, and still you are relentlessly watching every fucking video. Like, one day my dislike will make him stop. If I just call him cuck enough, then he will go kill himself and it'll all be okay again. Anyway, in honor of this 10th anniversary of my being on YouTube, I am going to be doing one of my kind of Ask Me Anythings, which is to say that this video will have approved comments, and in this video you will be able to ask questions, and if I approve of them and I think that they are worth answering, I will approve the comments and I will answer them. And if I don't, I might very well just delete the comment and then block you, so you can't ever comment on my videos ever again. And you might be very, very angry at this, and you might be tempted to lash out, and please, be my guest. It will only help me clean out the trash. But yes, I shall be doing another sort of Ask Me Anything. There will be a video coming up in about a week's time that where I will actually go through the answers, go through the questions that I've answered, and I will answer them in that video, as well as leaving answers to the comments that I can. And yeah, that's kind of it. One thing that some time ago, quite some time ago, I got bored of people making questions about my gender, because people kept asking, "Are you a boy or a girl? Are you a boy or a girl? Are you a boy or a girl?" And so I decided to say, "Fuck it," and show off my humble and majestic physique. And it was from there, from those comments, that the kindness of the otherwise hostile commenter made me realise that I actually had a problem and to actually see the doctors. And I have since been to an endocrinologist, and I have since gotten my regular testosterone injections, and I am now genuinely in a lot better shape than I used to be. I mean, obviously, I'm a desk guy. I sit at a computer, and I basically regard going to the gym as a fucking waste of money and something that only rich people do to satisfy themselves when they have another fucking slice of cake. I want to be fit, but being fit does not mean looking like fucking Chris Hemsworth. And I do not have the shame about my body that I used to. There was a time when I would look upon my chest, when I would look upon these things, and I would feel disgusted, genuinely sick. I don't anymore. This is my body. This is who I am. I didn't ask for this. I was born into this pile of crap. But it is what I am. It is who I am. And I find it quite amazing, really, that secondary sexual characteristics are so politicized and stigmatized in society. Because I have tits. these are tits. These aren't just fat pecs, right? This is essentially as a result of Kalman syndrome causing my body to get confused. It's like it tried to go through conventional male puberty. That didn't really work out, and at a certain point it was like, well, maybe since we're not getting enough testosterone, maybe we should try growing tits. Maybe that's what we're supposed to do. And so I've got tits. But because I'm a man, because I'm a cis man, that is a man whose gender identity matches up with the gender identity assigned at birth. Because of that, these tits are perfectly fine to show off on the telly or on YouTube or wherever. Like, these don't need to be censored. I mean, it might not necessarily be the most polite thing to do, and people might not necessarily enjoy the view, but it is generally accepted that a man can remove his shirt, and, well, that's fine. That's fine. But if a woman removes her shirt, well, then that's a problem. That's a problem, because we can't have women's chests on show, because, God Lord, their pectorals, they produce milk. We can't be having that. It's the milk that makes it so very illicit and illegal and censorious, and it's just fucking ridiculous. Well, what happens in the case of trans people, right? Say a trans woman, that is a woman whose gender when assigned at birth was a man. Suppose they transitioned, went through the full sexual reassignment surgery, and they got the physique we would expect of a woman. If they show their chests, is that wrong? Are they then marked by the same restraints as a man, as a woman? Sorry, because well, they have a woman's body now. They are a woman, therefore their breasts are equally as sanctioned as any other woman's breasts, despite the fact that maybe their breasts are actually still fundamentally the same matter as they had when they went by the assigned gender of man. And what happens if you do decide, oh well, they have transitioned, so therefore they have got women's breasts, so therefore yes, they should hide them and cover them up. Then what happens before then? What happens? But not only before they take the steps to transition surgically, what happens? Before they come out, like whilst they still maybe are under the impression that their gender identity match the ones they are assigned with, and so they are still going by the idea that they are a man. Well, if you take the idea that at a later point in life, once they have taken the operation to transition to be a woman, that's bad, surely then, since their gender has always been a woman, because they are a woman, then surely it's equally as kind of bad for them to show their chest when they were still going as a man and still maybe even thought they were a man. And okay, so supposing that you come to a verdict on that, and you think, oh well, you know, that you can be clearer on, because that's a case of, you know, sort of a situation where nobody cares to a situation where people do care. Well, what about then if you have a trans man, right? Someone whose body, you know, match the sexual characteristics of a woman at birth, and they then transition later on in life to being a man, right? At a certain point, they're going to be a, you know, they will be out as a man in society, and they will still have a woman's secondary sexual characteristics, which we've got this absurd censoring of. Now, admittedly, a certain amount of this is due to the well, a lot of it is to do with the exploitation of women's bodies in this capacity. But it's still fucking absurd. And as can be seen in the case of me, like, what you can even end up in the case where someone where you're not deliberately kind of making the issue blurry with, you know, trans people, but you're actually saying, okay, well, let's make it nice and easy then. A cis man who happens to develop essentially mammary glands, breasts, because of an accident of genetics. It's a very fucking odd situation, and it's a very fucked up thing, and it makes it's made me realise just how fucking insane it is that we censor women's breasts in this manner, that we fetishize women's breasts so very much, because we grow up with these insane ideas about the way the world is, because we're just told, well, that's the way it is, darling. Yes, yes, you know, you have to understand that, you know, that there are just two genders, and that we place different expectations on women because, you see, they are different, except they're really not. And the thing is that, like, this is something that I have had to sort of struggle with, sort of awakening to the reality of how fucked up these differences are, because, like, you know, I'm a bisexual, okay? Again, I didn't realise that until, you know, a few years ago. But I am a bisexual, and at the same time, I do have radically different thoughts and feelings towards women. And it is an odd thing when you consider, like, under the standard heteronormative gender binary, it's fairly simple to apply these, you know, gender dimorphic differences, to not treat people equally, because it seems to be so clear cut. But it's not so clear cut, not in reality. In reality, you have to accept and be able to treat all people equally, or it just doesn't make any fucking sense. And that isn't to say that you can't have a type, that you can't be interested in a certain type. I mean, you know, fundamentally, your sexual orientation and your sexual fetishes are your own fucking business. But it is, I suppose, interesting from a sort of sociological, biological, anthropological point of view that that we do look upon these grand spectrums of gender and orientation and sexuality, and we apply a very rough, crude cut down the middle. But then, I suppose, we do the same thing with politics. You know, we say, oh yes, the left wing and the right wing. And we've all sort of got slightly different ideas of what the left wing and the right wing are. And for me, I sort of see them polarized as, you know, Tumblr to the left of me, 4chan to the right of me. And, you know, like, radical feminists to the left, and the alt-right to the right. And, you know, that is a war that I want the left to win. Absolutely. But nonetheless, it is a war that I am aware that I am somewhere in the centre of. That this is another grand spectrum that we like to think is a simple split binary when it really isn't. So often, we look at the world and we apply binaries where there are none. So often, we look at the world and we assume that we can break it down into yes and no, good and bad. It's not that simple. It's never that simple. Nothing is ever easy. And I created a brand about 10 years ago that was created to be an online automated internet shopping website. And I think I said basically the same thing a few times, but you know, I created it to be a brand to sell stuff, to be an entrepreneur. And then I ended up creating a character out of scientific theories and, well, fetishistic bullshit. But as much as I have struggled with the stuff I write, because the stuff I write isn't always pleasant and it's not always got the most noble of motivations, this is a thing that I have nonetheless spent at least a decade working on. And I'm never going to stop. Or at least I'm not going to stop for quite some time. Not until I find something better. Now, I am, as it happens, trying to improve and educate myself. I am watching all of these political programs and sitcoms and dramas and trying to educate myself about all this culture that I missed. Because I was sort of a hipster before there were hipsters. I was cool before it was cool to be cool before it was cool. But now being hipster is being cool. I don't really care about being cool anymore, and so I am actually going back and catching up on the things I've missed. And I am getting better. I am learning a fuck of a lot, and I'm growing a fuck of a lot as a person. And I am also learning to be better at hardware in computers. And on the 1st of December, some RAM will be arriving for my computer. Specifically, 16 gigabytes of it. And hopefully, if I did my researching right, and I don't cock this up, this should be able to be installed to my computer, and if it works, and if it doesn't, I will have spent £100 on a piece of electronics that doesn't work, and I'll be very annoyed. Yes, you can tell I'll be annoyed because my voice goes high-pitched. But it works. Then the next thing I will be getting will be a graphics card. And, you know, I do intend to save up for a gaming PC. But if this works out, and I get a graphics card, and I get RAM for this, I may decide to look up the prices of, say, cases for computers, of power for computers, of motherboards, processors. I may decide to build my own computer by just sort of slowly upgrading the one I've got. But time will tell, and frankly my money will tell as well. But for now, I will begin with the RAM, and I am going to continue with watching the things, and there will be more reviews, and maybe I'll get a Let's Play of Civ 5 done, although I think doing Let's Plays will be difficult, because essentially when it comes to Civilization 5, I love it. It's a brilliant game, but it is also a game that does happen to completely crash my computer on a semi-regular basis. Which, as you can imagine, is not inclining me to play it more, and also is making me think that doing a Let's Play of it would be a very bad idea. Because, yes, it's basically like, yes, would you like to have, you know, an hour's worth of work corrupted because your computer decided to crash, and now my nose is bleeding. So I better end this video here. Goodbye. Thank you to all my Patreons at patreon.com for helping to make videos like this possible. If you wish to leave a like or dislike to rate the video for my analytics, that would be much appreciated. Comments are always welcome, though be aware that they will be moderated before being published, so please be civil. If you liked this video, please consider adding it to your favourites, sharing it to your friends, or subscribing. If you wish to help me out, or my channels, please consider whitelisting my videos in your adblock software, subscribing for monthly donations through Patreon, or giving a small one-off donation. Alternatively, I have a Steam wishlist for games I would consider Let's Playing or streaming, so if you would like to see me broken before the Dark Souls altar, or just happen to have gotten a duplicate of a game in a humble bundle, then you know what to do. I also have an official Facebook fan page, Twitter account, Tumblr, Reddit and blog, so you can stay up to date with all of my videos, blog articles and the things I care about. Links are in the video description. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I think that all that now needs to be said is ban all guns, institute universal basic income now, and ensure government is elected by proportional representation. Oh, and also, fuck the racists and fuck the alt-right. It is a reward for Patreons that who donate $5 or more, that they get thanks for donating $5 or more to my Patreon, and I haven't been doing that because I'm sort of shit at things, and so I am going to be thanking all the people who have donated $5 or more, basically for all time so far, and this is going to be re-recorded every time someone else donates $5 more in future. So anyway, without further ado, here we go. Thank you to Michael Hamilton Fletcher, who donated on September the 13th, 2015. And thank you to Marcus Anthony Infante, who pledged $5 on September the 3rd, 2016. And thank you to Henry Wotton, who pledged $5 on September the 8th, 2016. Thank you to both of you, lovely, to all three of you, lovely people, and I will indeed be remembering to keep actually rewarding my Patreons for, you know, donating money to keep me alive, because that's nice, and because I have seen people complaining that, well, you know, this link to send you care packages from Amazon, all of the things on the wish list are really expensive. Yeah, well, you know, you can't just give me money as well. That would be appreciated. So Patreons, thank you. You are lovely, wonderful. Apologies that you watch my videos, because I'm a sort of grotesque flesh golem of idiocy. Why? But anyway, thank you. Also, thanks to Martin Heavey, Cestrian vlogger, for pledging $5 a month on Patreon.